heaps of people were kind of like, that's a really cool idea. You should make a thing of it. So one day I sat down at home with a beer and I just sat there. I bought Dogecoin.com. That's a bit funny. And I slapped the Doge face onto a coin and just put it live. And I wake up the next day to, you know, heaps of retweets and my co-founder who's based up in Portland. Had messaged me and said, hey, I found that you can change the Bitcoin source code or the Litecoin source code, and you can change the font to Comic Sans. You can change the font to Comic Sans.
Okay, we gotta do this. Okay, we gotta do this.
Let's move on to Bitcoin, shall we? Let's move on to Bitcoin, shall we? That's a virtual Bitcoin.
Time high this week, time $900. Now at its peak, it's now
Hey everybody, Chris here. Welcome on a Friday afternoon or evening, depending on where you are. I'm Chris. Welcome to another live stream where we talk about not only Dogecoin, but also what else is going on in the crypto market. And today, I mean, all the buzz, right, was ETFs, blah, 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 ETFs all week. And guess what? There's no ETF this week. I didn't say there was going to be a Bitcoin spot ETF this week. I said it was going to be next week. Everybody's getting all excited, right? You got George on Tuesday, right? Cryptos R Us saying, yeah, we might get approval today or maybe tomorrow. Then Wednesday, it's going to be tomorrow, Bitcoin ETF. Then Thursday, maybe Friday. Friday, we're going to get. No. But what happens, right? You get everybody all excited, right? And then there's a letdown because it doesn't happen. But it wasn't going to happen anyway. So you wonder why the prices are down in the crypto market. There it is. People just get all hyped. I mean, we got enough challenges, right? Trying to get acceptance of cryptocurrencies. Well, you don't need this hype, pre-hype, and then let down. You don't need that. So that's why you guys come here, listen to me, because I keep it real and tell you what I think, what I see, what's going on. Do I get it 100% right? Well, no, but on this one, you could just tell. It was just like people getting all hyped up too soon. Too soon. So we're going to talk about that and about Dogecoin. Could Dogecoin have an ETF too? Why not, right? And we'll talk about that as well. So welcome, everyone. Let me drop down here in the corner and see what is going on. Ikarov says Doge for the win. Yes, Doge for the win. How are you? Guten Tag, Alexander. How are you? You know, when we have that rocket launch on Monday morning, that's right, Monday morning, January 8th, it's going to be like 2 o'clock in the morning, my time. But your time, you're going to already be up having your breakfast and had a nice good night's sleep. But me, I'm not going to have a good night's sleep because you know why? You know why? Yes, I am announcing here, right now. I'm going to have a live stream starting at 1:30 in the morning, my time. That's Boston time, New York time, East Coast time. Live stream for the rocket launch. That's right, the rocket launch. I filled out the form on the website, so I'm invited. I don't know what that means. I think anyone can kind of watch it, but maybe it's a different stream than the one other people are going to be seeing. I don't know. But yeah, Giancarlo, where are you? You must be on West Coast, right? You're California, right? A California guy or something like that, right? So yeah, it'll still be Sunday evening where you are. Now, so what do I do? What do I do? Do I sleep, take a little nap, and then live stream, or do I just stay up? Oh, it's 11:05 where you are right now in Germany. Okay, so on Monday morning, while you're having your breakfast, whatever you have for breakfast in Germany there, you can be watching me live for the rocket launch. That's right. Which rocket launch is that? It's this rocket launch, the Vulcan Centaur, ULA, the CERT-1. This is it. This is the rocket launch. And it's taking off from Cape Canaveral in Florida at 2:18 in the morning. But I'm going to start live streaming at like 1:30, right? It's because we got to hype it up a little bit, talk about stuff that's going on, get the whole pre-launch sequence, all of that stuff that will be on. That will be fun. And I mean, here's a picture today. Here it is. The rocket is in its, whatever they call that, the holder, whatever that is. Here it was moving to the launch pad, right? These are all pictures from earlier today. That looks pretty cool. That is the rocket that is taking a Dogecoin to the moon. To the moon. That's right. And so, going to be live. There's a close-up of it. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's got the Astrobotic Peregrine Lunar Lander is what it has. So, very cool. That's what we're waiting for. And that will be Monday morning. Monday morning. So I'm going to be live in the middle of the night here. But this is just like one of those things, right? You just got to have fun with it. So we'll talk more about this in a little bit as we're watching Dogecoin. Of course, Kriss goes live and we get some green candles. That's right. But what did we have today? We had, a little dump around noontime. Doge came down to about 8.05, but that wasn't as bad as yesterday's, which was like 8.04. But that wasn't as bad as what we had on Wednesday when Doge went down to 7.50. So what does that mean? That means higher lows, right? Higher lows. That's good. That's good. That means it's not dropping as far. So does that mean that we might not see another drop or it might not go this low? No, we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen this weekend, but it's a good sign. I think people kind of got over the hype of no Bitcoin spot ETF this week, but there shouldn't have been any hype about that anyway, because I didn't say it was going to happen this week. I'm saying next week. Everything I was showing was next week. So we have that. Let me finish in the chat here because got to just finish up on the rocket launch because I see some questions coming in. Yariel, hi, how are you? Massive dump coming if they don't accept the ETF. Could be. I've got a slide on that. I will show you. We'll talk about that. SP Narwhal, how are you? I wonder if there will be ETFs that hold stocks and crypto both. If so, maybe Doge will be included. My guess is there will be a Bitcoin and there will be an ETH. And there may be some kind of general crypto ETF that might be done that holds a number of cryptos. That'll be my guess. But we haven't gotten to the main subject yet about Dogecoin ETFs. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Just a little bit. Hey, Jason, how are you? I wake up at 3. I'll watch the stream on the way to work. So I will, I'll be here. I will be here. Alexander's going to be having his breakfast while I'm streaming. Awesome. Hassan, how are you? And CEC, I don't know, Keck? Should I say Keck? It's renowned crypto analyst, Chris Pax. That's right. I'm a renowned analyst. Now, if you guys don't know what that means, you weren't with me on Wednesday or Thursday's video where there's articles being written. It's actually the third article. I found one because I was just like, wait, did I miss something there? And there was one back in December too. And I didn't even see that one. But anyway. Lord Trip, do you think this smaller launch will take away the hype with the Doge one? I think the Doge one, which is the SpaceX launch, again, sometime mid-February, that one is going to get more hype because it's SpaceX. And Elon could say something. Elon will not say anything about this one on Monday. This one, because this one's not SpaceX, right? This is ULA who's doing this. So Elon probably won't be talking about this one. But the Doge one, maybe. And that would be huge. That would be huge. Monday rocket, Wednesday ETF. Ooh, could be a big week. Big week next week. Yeah, low roller, Bitcoin's first, the Genesis block 15 years ago. Wow. And we just had Doge's 10th birthday in December. Lots to celebrate in crypto. When is Elon going to start talking about Dogecoin? That's right. And if you didn't see my video earlier today, it was all things Elon with Dogecoin. Pretty good video, I think. Talked a lot about Doge. A lot of people have a lot of questions about Elon. Think that Elon pumped the Dogecoin price in 2021 and now doesn't care about Doge. Well, no, he was still tweeting about it after. So some of these people, I don't know. So Giancarlo, this is not the Doge One mission. This is the literal Dogecoin on the literal moon. This is in the moon box that the lunar lander from this launch. There's a lunar lander in here that's going to go to the moon, going to land on the moon, and it's got a whole bunch of stuff it's putting on the moon, including a Dogecoin. That's what it is. It's going to take a little while for the lander to get to the moon. It's like a month and a half. I think I read somewhere February 23rd, 24th. 24th would be great because that's my birthday, February 24th. So that would be fun. Celebrate my birthday with the lunar lander landing on the moon with the Dogecoin. That's pretty cool. A meme ETF. Doge, Bog, Pepe. That would be funny. Litecoin, yeah, I heard about that too. A Litecoin one. Again, and I'll show you an article on that and what somebody thinks, but as long as these things aren't deemed to be securities, then maybe. But there's some thoughts about that. We'll talk about that. Hey, Dee, how are you? Hit the like button. Thank you, Giancarlo. I never ask that, but some of you guys do. So yeah, hit the like button. Appreciate that. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, especially so you can be notified, that little notification bell, you can be notified at 1:30 in the morning, Monday morning, that Kriss Pax is live on YouTube with the rocket launch. With the rocket launch, live. This could be fun. This could be fun. Yeah, Yariel, there's that Elon, that lawsuit. And I think his lawyers have pretty much told him, just keep it quiet a little bit. So slowly, actually, I think that's good because he can build all of this other stuff, right? can build all this other stuff. He said he thinks he'll have all of the state approvals to be a money transmitter, right? Get licenses in all 50 states by this summer. So, yeah, so are we doing shots live? What am I going to do to stay awake? I don't know. We'll see. I may have a beverage or two here. We will see. But yeah, that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. So what is going on? What is going on? Well, last night we had Bitcoin bounces back, Doge, ETH rise as spot ETF hopes get revived. Some analysts picking a rebound back up to 57K for Bitcoin, all in hopes that the SEC was going to approve the Bitcoin spot ETF this week, or at least word would get out, right? That they're approved. Maybe the companies need to do like some last thing. There's all this talk about like seed money and how much like these companies are already buying into Bitcoin. I've seen these commercials. I don't know if you've seen any of these Bitcoin commercials on X Twitter that are kind of rotating around, because these companies, that would be these companies right here. These companies are already making, some of them are already making commercials, ads that they're going to be putting out because they want people to use their ETF to buy Bitcoin. Well, when you buy an ETF, you're not really buying the real Bitcoin, right? You're buying like a fund that tracks Bitcoin, but that fund needs to be backed up in Bitcoin. So all of these companies need to have the number of Bitcoin in their wallets that matches how much the fund holds, right? So if you get like 1,000 people all getting one Bitcoin, right, then you got 1,000 Bitcoins. Well, if it's BlackRock, let's say, then BlackRock has to have at least 1,000 Bitcoins in their wallet. That's where the price goes up, right? The price goes up because you have these institutions then buying all of this Bitcoin. Now, the seed is them buying ahead of time before the launch date of the ETF, so they can already have some Bitcoins in their wallets ready so they can start selling, right? These financial advisors, right, are going to be selling their Bitcoin spot ETF to their wealthy clients, right, who have all this money sitting there and haven't been able to get into the Bitcoin game because they don't want to go through and like sign up on an exchange, right, and then have to buy it themselves and then like put it in a custodial wallet or something like that. No, they're used to just calling up their finance guy and saying, hey, get me 200 shares of Apple, get me 300 shares of Tesla, right? And then the company goes and executes that trade for them. That's what they're used to doing. They don't want to do it themselves. They're too wealthy, too rich for that. So now they can say, hey, get me some of that Bitcoin. And that BlackRock, right, dealer can say, okay, I'll get you some of that Bitcoin. That's how it works. That's how it works. So all of this stuff was just like, not yet. Not yet, guys. Next week. Next week. So Bitcoin ETFs get final SEC comments. Approval today, unlikely. That's right. This came out today because, again, it was too soon. Too soon. There's still stuff going on, right, with the SEC, the timeline and all of this. SEC giving final comments as we speak. Issuers will submit final 19B4s and S1s. So, I mean, this is definitely as close to done as we've been, but no official approval as far as I know. And that was as of yesterday. That was yesterday. Eric Balkunas said that. So, but there is a process there. There is a process for this. So, what's going on else? Well, with Dogecoin, right? Doge price stressed down to 8.2 cents. Further downside potential looms because, as some of you guys have already said, right? It's like people got all hyped up and now are depressed and prices are going down. And over this weekend, I don't see anything that's going to change the game and have crypto just go mooning up this weekend until Dogecoin, of course, Monday morning, as Jason points out here, that we got rocket launch early Monday morning for Doge, which will help Doge, probably help Sheeb too, because every time Doge goes crazy, Sheeb follows along. That usually happens. Now, is that actually going to happen? We don't know. I don't know if there's going to be all of this hype on Doge, but I mean, I'll be tweeting or posting on X, right? All of this, and I'm sure a lot of other people will. I don't know how much of a big deal overall this is going to be, but that's going to come. But yeah, the Doge price, Dogecoin price prediction, Doge turns attractive to bears. So what happens, right? Well, there's this anticipation of all of this stuff in the future for Doge. I outlined a lot of it in my video earlier today, all related to one Mr. Elon Musk. So watch that video if you haven't already. So people are buying Dogecoin on the dips here. They're buying Dogecoin on the dips in anticipation of big prices coming in the future. That's what is going on. So with that, while everyone is waiting for approval for Bitcoin spot ETFs, there's one expert that has come out with a different possibility. And what could this be? Well, as I showed, right? You got all these companies with these applications for these Bitcoin spot ETFs. And most of them, their final SEC deadline is March. So we have the iShares, the Bitwise, the Van Eck, the Wisdom Tree, the Invesco. I think the iShares, yeah, that's the one with BlackRock, right? They're not until March. But there's one where the final deadline is January 10th, right here. That's ARK 21 shares. ARK 21 shares, they did the first application for a Bitcoin spot ETF. So their deadline comes first. Now, if next week the SEC does not want to approve the ARK 21 shares Bitcoin ETF, well, they have to have a reason to deny it. And then it's denied. All of these others are still in play for March. They're not denied. They just go to the next deadline. But this first one right here, that's the one, January 10th, they would have to deny it. And if they deny it, 21 shares and ARK Invest could sue the SEC. Does the SEC really want that? I don't think so. That would look really bad, especially when you've got like the BlackRocks of the world looming here with their billions of dollars. So that's why I think January 10th is the date. SEC is going to take it right to the end. That's where my idea came from. And I, of course, put a video out back in October saying that same thing. And here we are, less than a week away. And that's what's happening. So you got all of that happening, right? But you've got this guy who's saying, well, what if the SEC says, what we want you to do is withdraw your application and reapply to start the process again? Would the SEC do that to ARK? Would they do that? Poor Kathy Wood. She would go ballistic if the SEC demanded she did that. I don't know. I think there would just be way too much political pressure against the SEC doing that. So they wouldn't deny the ETF, but they could say, well, why don't you just withdraw it? Wink, wink, nod, nod. If that happens next week, we could see a dump in the crypto market. Just putting that out there because somebody said, well, maybe. ETF analyst reveals 2024 predictions about Bitcoin spot ETFs and says record books will be rewritten. So eventually there will be spot ETFs, maybe starting next week. But what he's saying is so much money is going to come into crypto. Prices are going to go up. Van Eck, the head of digital assets research, says they're hearing that BlackRock has $2 billion sitting there waiting, all set to start buying Bitcoin for their wealthy clients. They're going to seed with about $10 million, which isn't a whole lot to start with. But $2 billion they have on the sidelines waiting. How many Bitcoin is that? I didn't figure that out. How many Bitcoin is that? 2 billion divided by, let's say, 43,000. That's 46,000 Bitcoin. That's a lot of Bitcoin. It's not as many as MicroStrategy has, but that is a lot of Bitcoin. That's a lot of Bitcoin. How quickly would people be buying that? I don't know. We'll see. So with that in mind, we've got, what else? Ethereum ETF. That's right. Ethereum ETF. Guess what? Well, back in September, ARC21 filed for a spot Ether ETF. So they've filed for this Ethereum ETF. So that's the next one. Now, is Ethereum a security or a commodity? Remember, Gary Gensler would not answer the question when he was in front of the U.S. House Financial Services Committee, and he wouldn't answer the question. Well, what about that? ARC21 shares, and they're not the only ones. There are others as well because they're here on the list. Van Eck, ARC21, Hashdex has an Ethereum in. Grayscale has an Ethereum trust conversion. So there already is an Ethereum trust. Invesco Galaxy, Ethereum. Guess what? iShares, BlackRock has one in there. Fidelity has one in there, all for Ethereum. So that leads us to ask, what about Doge? What about a Dogecoin ETF, right? What would that do? A Dogecoin ETF. So we got the Ether one in the works. And when is the final deadline on the first Ethereum one? May 23rd, May 24th. That's not too far away for Ethereum. Do you know what the price of Ethereum would do? I've got some Ethereum. I've got it staked. I'm waiting for that. Because not only will Ethereum go up when the Bitcoin spot ETF gets approved, but it'll go up even more if their own spot ETF gets approved. So what about Dogecoin? We've got a Bitcoin ETF coming. We think it's going to be approved. Then we've got an Ethereum ETF. What about Dogecoin? So It's All Risky put this together last week. And I got to say, it's a pretty good post. So if you don't follow It's All Risky on X Twitter, a little overhyped sometimes about Doge, and sometimes I get a little upset with some of the posts about Elon Musk, because It's All Risky knows very well that Elon Musk does not own the largest Dogecoin wallet. That's a Robinhood wallet. They keep posting, asking the question, do you think Elon Musk owns that? No. Well, the crypto world is abuzz over the expected approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF. Not a done deal yet. Flurry of news in recent weeks created the sense ETF approval has never been closer. And Risky goes through and talks about the benefits for investors of having an ETF, like a gold ETF would have a Bitcoin ETF. Potentially broadens the range of Bitcoin investors by millions of people. Prior to 2023, the SEC had denied any Bitcoin ETF applications. But this year, this is the year. This is the pressure is on now, especially with BlackRock, I think. So, again, the first sign something was different came last June when BlackRock, the world's largest financial firm, filed paperwork to launch a Bitcoin ETF. In BlackRock's entire career, they have applied to launch 496 ETFs. 495 of them have been approved. So that's a pretty good record, right? That's pretty good. SEC has held regular meetings. December reports of the meetings, revised applications, became a daily occurrence. Sudden flurry of action here. December 29th was supposed to be the final deadline for all these companies to amend, put in their last things that they needed in their applications, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, an ETF approval would be a historic moment for crypto. TradFi has done its best to downplay blockchain technology, even as Bitcoin became one of the best performing financial assets of all time, which is why wealthy investors would want to get into it. Legacy banks and funds either pretended it didn't exist or cached on it. Yeah, that Bitcoin, it's going to go to zero, blah, 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 right? Even JP Morgan's CEO Jamie Dimon testified to Congress in December that crypto was for criminals and said, if I were the government, I'd close it down. Now that just happened last month. Now, ironically, Dimon's own bank has been named an authorized participant in Bitcoin ETFs by BlackRock and Valkyrie because there's money there. There's money to be made. So these big guys are getting into it. Whatever happens with Bitcoin's price, an ETF approval is a symbolic step forward for cryptocurrency, which has finally gained recognition as a legitimate financial asset. So, what's going to happen to the price of Bitcoin? Nick Carter thinks there'll be a muted effect on the price when ETFs launch, thinks that approval is already priced in. This big price increase that we've seen in Bitcoin this fall has all been in anticipation of the spot ETFs. Once they're approved, not much is going to happen. Well, then we got Del Pop saying there's going to be a big marketing blitz. ETF issuers going to cater to Bitcoiners. We got interest rate cuts coming, other macro factors that says the next 24 months should be fun for digital commodities, meaning bull market, here we come. Max Kaiser said ETFs would put large quantities of Bitcoin in the hands of Wall Street, which could use that liquidity to manipulate the market further, but not on the ETF side. They're not. They just need to have that Bitcoin in their wallets, because if they get audited, they got to show if there's 1,000 Bitcoin that are owned in those ETFs, they need to have 1,000 Bitcoin in their wallet. So they're not going to be manipulating with those 1,000 Bitcoin. They need to have it. Now, would they buy more Bitcoin and try and manipulate the markets that way? They could, but God, that'd be a crap ton of Bitcoin they'd be buying. And what happens when big institutions buy a crap ton of anything? The price goes up. That's right. The price goes up. So what does this all mean? Bitcoin's value derives from its velocity. Every time Bitcoin moves, miners expend electricity, validate transactions, rewarded with transaction fees. And Bitcoin, of course, proof of work cryptocurrency, right? So this is all about Bitcoin actually turning into less of a currency and more of an asset like gold. That's what this is. That's what all this is leading to, is that Bitcoin was supposed to be, right, this e-cash, right? Supposed to be a currency. And all of this does not lead to Bitcoin being a currency. It leads more and more for Bitcoin being a store of value like gold. People don't use gold, right, to trade, right? People aren't going to be using Bitcoin to trade either. Bitcoin is no longer going to be a currency. Yeah, you could, I guess. You've got countries like El Salvador and Argentina, possibly, right, are going to be using Bitcoin on the Lightning Network, right, to transact. But more and more, this kind of thing, this ETF is leading away from that. So what does that mean? Well, Doge, right? That leads us to Dogecoin. Doge's status as a meme means that prestigious financial institutions probably won't embrace it anytime soon. Those expecting a Dogecoin ETF shouldn't get their hopes up. For Doge to rise, it will have to succeed as a grassroots form of money. That's right, Dogecoin as use as currency, which I talked about in my Elon video earlier today, right? That's where Dogecoin's place is. The deep-pocketed money managers of Wall Street, whatever their virtues, are not known for their sense of irony. Dogecoin is unlikely to turn into a Bitcoin long term. It has its own path. Okay? It has an issuance schedule, right? Its issuance schedule means consistently more Dogecoin coming into the market day after day, month after month, year after year, like a currency. Bitcoin's not going to do that. Bitcoin has a hard cap, and by 2140, there's going to be no more new Bitcoins. More Bitcoin, a store of value. But this keeps Dogecoin as a currency. Again, a Bitcoin ETF would be a huge step forward for a cryptocurrency in general, signaling acceptance from the most prestigious financial institutions in the world. But what does this mean for Bitcoin? Is it a digital form of money anymore that would be traded for goods and services? Maybe not. If Bitcoin changes from a transactional currency to an inert investment, there would then be a gaping hole in the world of a decentralized digital currency. And what fills that void? It's Dogecoin. That's right, it's Dogecoin. Bitcoin is for the suits. Doge is for the people. We probably won't see a Dogecoin ETF anytime soon, and that's probably a good thing. And I agree. I agree with this post. This is where Dogecoin separates itself from Bitcoin. Not only that, but all of the things I talked about in my video earlier today about Elon Musk and how Dogecoin could be used as a currency with Tesla, with the Boring Company, and yes, X Twitter separates Doge from Bitcoin. And the Dogecoin ETF is not what Dogecoin needs. It's not going to do anything for Dogecoin. Now, could there be a cryptocurrency ETF that includes a bunch of other cryptos? Maybe, right? Like the meme currency you guys were talking about earlier, right? Or something like that. You never know. But the SEC is going to want to make sure that those things aren't breaking rules, right? And they want to watch out for the investor. And something that moves like the prices of some of these memes, the SEC may not be so proud of. So this is what I say is Dogecoin ETF doesn't need Bitcoin, doesn't need an ETF. Dogecoin is going to do its own thing and has the potential to do its own thing as a currency. So, what do you guys think, huh? What do you guys think? X is going to use Doge. Yep. Let me scroll up here. Do you think big institutions will invest in a meme coin? No, I don't. You got a little ahead of me there, but I don't. And I'm not saying that. I don't think that is. Well, again, if there's money to be made, they're going to make money, right? I wouldn't be surprised if all these things start happening with Doge and then they start buying in because they want to make money. But it wouldn't be with an ETF. I don't see that. Doge is more than a meme coin. It's an unstoppable vehicle. It's going to take over the world. Yes, Jason. Yes. Curtis, how are you? Will X need to have Doge when they allow use, or will they just need the ability to transfer from person to person? Like I said earlier on my video today, I think it will be much, much easier for the folks at X Twitter to use Dogecoin than have to convert all of these fiat currencies to all the different countries around the world in order to pay out creators, right? Or to have people pay on the platform. All of this conversion of, euros to dollars to pesos to whatever, right? It's just going to be a nonstop nightmare of currency conversions to be able to have fiat currency on X Twitter. Dogecoin solves that. It solves it for payments out to content creators, which is pay you in Dogecoin. That's it. They don't have to worry about what country you're in and in what your fiat, right, denomination is. They don't need to do that. Just send Doge. Right? That's it. And then payment to payment, person to person, right? You're here in the United States and you want to send a payment to somebody in India, let's say, right, on the X platform because they did something for you, right? Like I did when I had some graphics done for me by this guy in India. Harsh did a bunch of graphics for me. I just paid him in Dogecoin. No banks, no fees. Didn't have to do like Western Union, right? Or any of these, right? Didn't have to wire transfer anything. It was just Doge. Now the banks don't like that, right? They want you to use the banks and have like all of this, needing the banks to be able to transmit money. Well, Elon is working on not only all of the states in the United States to be money transmitters, right? But then he's going to expand around the world. X is going to be huge. And if Doge is part of it, yeah, I'm just saying. So, as Omar says, we are our own bank, no middleman, Doge to the moon. That's right. Because Elon even said himself, he said he wanted X to be such a financial institution on its own that you won't even need to have a bank account. You can do everything you need on X. How about that? I chose the international decentralized digital currency, not controlled by any central government. Yes. So, with the annual inflation rate, I'm pretty sure the next guy will be paying more for crypto in the future. Again, some people think that the inflating rate of Doge is a big deal, but overall, it really isn't. And as each year goes by, since it's a fixed rate of additional Doge, that percentage of the overall circulating supply of Doge goes down year after year after year. That percentage gets lower and lower. I call it decreasing inflation. It's decreasing inflation in the number of Doge that's being minted year after year. And what is that Doge being, what is it doing? It's being paid to miners. The miners that are validating the transactions on the blockchain, keeping Dogecoin safe and secure, which you need to have for a cryptocurrency. It all works. It all works. So, hey, Rob, can't wait to see all the naysayers eat crow when it eventually does happen. What most people don't realize is the Doge's story will be its metamorphosis from meme to real world use case. Couldn't have said it better myself. XRP is for suits and businesses across borders. Really, that's what XRP is supposed to be, is this cross-border thing. But yes, for suits and businesses. And Doge is internet money. Thank you, Ekrov. Very much. Very, very much. And as always, Giancarlo reminds us, one Doge equals one Doge. The most ironic outcome is the most likely. I don't know what will happen. The realtor knows you have 10 million of them. She'll probably try to marry you. I don't know what that's about. Doge going to the moon. Doge doesn't want an ETF. That's right, Curtis. Who do you think owns the 32 billion Doge wallet? It is Robinhood. And I've said that many, many times over the last year and a half because it is Robinhood. Now, they won't actually say it because security reasons. And that wallet changes over time. And I showed that last summer. There was actually a new wallet that was created, and Robinhood transferred Doge from what used to be their big whale wallet to a new whale wallet. But it's Robinhood, because we know there are so many people that own Robinhood on, or that own Dogecoin on Robinhood, that's a Robinhood wallet. So, Aiden, we're doing great. How are you doing? We're having fun. We're talking Doge and not ETFs, because the ETFs are getting people down on the charts. Look at all the red in crypto. Because all these people got all hyped up that, oh, crypto is, we're going to have this Bitcoin spot ETF any day now. And they weren't listening to me. Next week. So, yeah, I'm not optimistic about crypto trading over the weekend until what? Until Monday morning, early, when Kriss goes live That's right. I will be live. Well, the rocket launch is scheduled for 2:18, but I'm going to start at 1:30 Monday morning. Yes, in the middle of the night. I'm going to be live for the middle of the night where I am. Some of you guys, like Giancarlo in Germany, it's going to be while you're having your breakfast, you've had a good night's sleep, and you're like, yeah, watch that rocket launch now. But it's going to be the middle of the night for me. And you guys in California on the West Coast, it'll only be like, what, 11 o'clock at night? So you'll still be awake. But for me, it's kind of the middle of the night here in Boston. But I'm going to be live. And we're going to watch this rocket ship launch together. So be sure you're subscribed to Kriss. You've got your notifications on. When my live stream starts, you'll get that notification. And even if you're still kind of snoozing, you can just click it and have it on. And we're going to have some fun. Yep. 2:20 in the morning in Jersey. Yep. JVC. Yep. Middle of the night. But where's this thing going to go, right? Well, it's launching from Cape Canaveral. It's going to look awesome, right? The sky is going to be black, right? Middle of the night. And then you're going to have this giant, like, flame underneath the rocket ship launching off. That's going to be fun. Aiden's going to be here watching. Awesome. And we'll try and have some fun with it too. We'll watch, eventually, as it's sort of hyping and leading up, we'll talk about some other stuff too, what's going on. But it'll be fun, right? This is a big thing. I mean, that statement, Dogecoin to the moon, probably started in 2014. So 10 years coming. And now an actual Dogecoin is going to the moon. It's like, guys, come on. This is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Hopefully we can call out of work with a good Doge pump. Again, we don't know what's going to happen with, I don't know how much this is going to be hyped in the Dogecoin community, but we already love Dogecoin. It's got to get out there, right, into the world, right, for other people to start buying Doge. Because this is just the start. I mean, 2024 is just getting started. Not only are we in a typical, pre-bull, bull market year on the 4-year cycles, but we have all this other stuff going on with Dogecoin that just, it's going to be awesome. I mean, I'm ready. Now, is there any guarantees in this, right? Someone made a comment on my video, right? You should be warning people, right? And okay, sure. I'm not a financial advisor. Only risk what you're willing to lose when you buy a cryptocurrency like Dogecoin. I can tell you what I'm doing, though. And I've got millions of Dogecoin now because I've been preparing for this year and possibly into 2025 as well. I'm still a believer in the 4-year cycles. For those that don't know, I've got the chart right here because you never know when we've got to talk about it. So here we are. This is the Bitcoin price curve. Thank you to Rob at Digital Asset News for putting this together. We have the halvings. Bitcoin halvings are every 4 years, 2016, 2020, and the next one, 2024. That's right, where we are right now. There's a Bitcoin halving coming up in April. And what always happens? The year after the halving, Bitcoin hits an all-time high. It did it in 2017. It did it again in 2021. So what do you think is going to happen in 2025, the year after the halving? Well, until the cycle changes, I'm betting on the cycle, the 4-year cycle. I am holding all of my cryptocurrency through 2024 and into 2025. This is what I'm doing, following this cycle. I don't want to sell too early. Now, if it's wrong, if there's like some skewed cycle because of this ETF, and after the halving, that's it, Bitcoin's done, and the price goes down and all cryptocurrency goes down, that could happen, sure. But the last 4 cycles, or last 3 cycles, have not shown that. So I'm willing to bet on these big gains coming. Not only do we have more acceptance of blockchain technology, Web3, gaming, all of that is just getting started. NFTs being used for tickets, right? And what else? How all of it becomes digitized is just getting started. We're in the United States, we're in an election year, right? So we have good monetary policy. What is that monetary policy? It's print, 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 right? Because the Democratic leadership doesn't want the economy to look bad while the election is going on. So interest rates are going to be cut, printing new money. The stock market is going to be all-time highs all throughout the year. So will cryptocurrency markets. That's what I think is happening. And I'm on board for the ride this time. Because last time in 2021, I held what I had all the way through. And with Dogecoin, it went all the way up to 74 cents and all the way back down. And I just held through because I thought it was going to $1, like pretty much everybody did in May of 2021. And that didn't happen. I'm not holding all the way through. Most of my crypto I'm going to be selling in early 2025 or late 2025. Not sure when. We'll see what's going on. But that's my plan. I'm just letting you guys know what my plan is. But we're going to have fun with all of these events, all these news articles, all the hype, everything that's going on with Dogecoin, all along the way, along with the other cryptocurrencies, because I cover them as well. But nothing's as fun as Doge, and especially with Elon Musk. What's Elon going to do? I don't mind hitching part of my financial future to the richest man in the world. I don't mind doing that. Hey, maybe I'm a fool, right? Maybe it just all goes to zero and I'm like, now I still have a 401k plan for my retirement that's pretty well stocked, and it's in a Vanguard 500, just following the stock market, right? So I do not have all of my money in crypto. I've got a lot though. I'll just put it that way. I've got a lot. That's, again, that's just me. You do you. I'm telling you what I'm doing. Aiden thinks it's a good plan. Jason, he's betting on Dogecoin. That's what I'm doing. Now, other cryptocurrencies too, and I've talked about them a lot. I mean, my biggest gains are not in Doge. Well, since 2021, they're in Doge because I bought my first huge pack of Doge at 2 cents. So my average price has been going up as I've been buying more Doge. And now I have millions of Doge. But that first Doge I bought at 2 cents. But things like Render have outperformed Dogecoin. Huge. And I've got a good chunk of that. And I got a good chunk of a bunch of other cryptocurrencies that I talk about. And we even have these that are in our Kriss DCA portfolio. Let me refresh this because I think it's back over, $13.98. So it's almost 40% up because we were buying Doge at 6 cents. Our average price here in this portfolio, 6.1 cents. So we're up 33%. Our Bitcoin's up 63. Our Algorand is up 93, but our render is up 168%. So it was good to have some render too. I believe in diversity and looking at other cryptos, and some of them are going to take off on their own. And I want to be on some of those, support other blockchain technologies, other projects, not just have it all riding on Doge. But some of you only have Doge, and that's okay. That's okay. So Aiden asks, what exactly is an ETF? Like, does that mean Bitcoin will be put on stock exchanges, then people can trade it on there? Or will it just be a stock that represents Bitcoin? You know, I don't know exactly how the ETF trades, but I think it is kind of like a stock in that you trade it on an exchange. Yes. I think that's correct. I've never owned an ETF before, but I recall seeing them before, on the stock market. So yeah, but I think, again, that's just retail trading. And if people are buying like small little shares, they're on their own of Bitcoin, I mean, just go on Coinbase and buy the real Bitcoin. You don't have fees, you get the right price, and you can self-custody it in your own crypto wallet. Why would you buy like 0.02 Bitcoin in an ETF and then have to pay those fees? Why would you do that? It's for the wealthy investors. Again, the ones that don't buy their own stocks. They call up their stockbroker and they say, get me 500 shares of Apple, right? Well, they could say, get me 100 Bitcoin. And then the broker buys the Bitcoin for them. Essentially, it's going to be the ETF. And then they need to have that underlying asset of the real Bitcoins in their wallets to match what everybody's buying. The stock exchange is better because more people trust it. Yeah, maybe. And maybe people will just start to, they'll see Bitcoin in the name and they'll just buy it. Yeah, there'll be a lot of that. But again, is that the huge? I don't think that's the huge money in this. I think the huge money are the wealthy, ultra wealthy that are going to have their stockbrokers buying it for them. That's where the big money is going to be. It could be young, wealthy people, not older. Do you know how much money there is being held by young people that are just born into the right family, right? I mean, Paris Hilton didn't become Paris Hilton recently, right? She was born into the Hilton family. He's had tons of money since birth. There's a lot of people like that. And they want Bitcoin. And they don't want to do it themselves, buy the real Bitcoin. So. And yeah, Curtis, BlackRock could bundle together Bitcoin, ETH, other stuff, right? They can have a whole portfolio of things for their wealthy clients, including Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yep. And that's just that much more Bitcoin and ETH that BlackRock is going to have to own in their own wallets because it all is going to be audited. They need to own the underlying asset of the cryptocurrency itself. So it's going to be very exciting, but Dogecoin, they're not going to have their own ETF. And I don't know if anyone who would really want to, like one of these institutions that would actually want to do it. I don't think so. Bitcoin and ETH is probably as far as they will go for now. If Solana somehow became as big as ETH or bigger, maybe a Solana ETF, who knows? I mean, Dogecoin, look at it. Dogecoin is still a top 10 cryptocurrency after all of this. Let me refresh this. Get the latest. Here's Doge, number 10 still. $11.7 billion market cap, and that's at a price of 8.2 cents. We know Dogecoin can go much higher than this. And Doge could go on its own and rocket above a bunch of these. Maybe starting Monday morning, who knows? But so with ETF approval, a lot of numbers are out there. Some saying 48K, some saying 57K. So yeah, Doge has to be third most time staying in the top 10. It could be. Doge has been in and out of the top 10 since 2014. That's a long time. That is a long time. That's for sure. But yeah, we're expecting Doge to stay up there. People are not selling their Dogecoin. Now, some people are, some retailers are. I don't think the big whales are. There's some selling that has gone on some of these dips, right? Somebody was selling to cause these big wicks down. A lot of it was probably shorters, manipulators, right? Trying to flush out those that are trading with leverage, right? So they liquidate them. That's what most of this was on Monday. Most people think that big drop was just flushing out all of those liquidations, just all of that leverage trading gone. That's a big drop. That's a big drop. And they all did it. But we know what the bigger picture is, right? We go to the daily and we say, okay, here's Doge. Doge is here now, right? It broke down below this, this declining wedge that I had. So it's here, but where's Doge going? Well, we go to the weekly and we say, wow, Doge has been trading up here in the 70s. I've got 35 cents as a target right here. That's where it traded back up in late 2021 to 35 cents. After all of that Elon, Saturday Night Live hype and the shorting came down, Doge traded back up to 35 cents. That's a 4x from here. You buy Doge today, Doge hits 35 cents, right? Your $10,000 becomes $40,000, right? Your $100,000 becomes $400,000. That's pretty cool. So, and that's half of its all-time high. And where's Bitcoin now? Bitcoin's at 44,000. It doubles in price and it is above its all-time high. From where Dogecoin is today, right? It needs to do like a 9x to get to its all-time high. I'm just saying, there's a lot of opportunities on this Doge chart here. This is an opportunity here. So, big investors don't like volatility. They like stable returns. Yes, but if they look at Bitcoin's history over time and see thousands of % gains in Bitcoin's history, and all this talk about Bitcoin being the store of value, limited, and being like gold, the digital gold, they're going to want to be in the Bitcoin game. They're going to want to be there. Doge? Well, there are those that do follow Elon Musk. And if he starts putting Doge on X, do you know how many people are going to be buying Dogecoin? And what that could mean for the price of Dogecoin? So, Adam says we are getting excited for the Doge 1 mission. It's not just Doge, what comes after. Right. So that's SpaceX's Doge 1 mission, which is in February. But the one coming up this weekend, Monday morning, is the ULA rocket launch, January 8th, Monday morning. Some of you, it's still January 7th at night if you're out in California, West Coast. So I'm going to be live. We're going to watch this together on the live stream, have some fun. It's going to be the middle of the night here, so I'm going to need something to keep me awake. But there's the rocket today, sitting on its launch pad. So I'll be live. Probably start about 1:30 in the morning, East Coast time. Make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure you have your notifications on while we celebrate this rocket launch together. It's going to be fun time. It's fun time. I am an architect, Aiden, and I'm still an architect. Still practicing. That's right. This is my side job. This whole cryptocurrency thing, this is my side job. I am still an architect. That gives me a decent salary. It gives me a 401k plan where they match, right? So I put in like $1,000 a month and they match it with $1,000, right? It's like free money. And I've been doing that for years and years and years. So, yeah, so I'm still doing that. I don't know, by 2025, if I'm making millions of dollars in cryptocurrency, might have to think my retirement strategy a little bit. But right now, PT Mac's going to tune in for that rocket launch. And we're going to have some fun. Have some fun. Plus, I need you guys here to keep me awake. That's really what I need. I need you guys. So, yeah, this cryptocurrency thing is like, I mean, I've done my whole career just dutifully doing what you're told to do, right? The Warren Buffetts, the Charlie Mungers, right? Some stocks, your 401k, you put it in like the Vanguard 500, which just follows the market. And there's no doubt the returns have been decent, right? The returns have been decent. But they're not Bitcoin decent, right? 10x, 20x, 50x, 100x, 1000x, right? That's where the real money is. Those that have millions of dollars, right? The more money you have, yeah, then stock investing makes sense. But if you're not already investing millions of dollars, right? You only invest like $1,000, that's all you have, and you put it into the stock market and you expect gains of 8 to 10% a year. Well, that's $100. Is that going to change your life? That extra $100 you make on gains per year? And yeah, over a couple of years, it'll go up to maybe $200, $400 or whatever. But is that going to change your life? This cryptocurrency can change your life. We've seen it happen again and again. Yeah, is it risky? Sure, it's risky. Those that were buying Bitcoin back here, 2014, 2015, right? Super risky, especially if you had it held on Mt. Gox, right? And then Mt. Gox shut down and your Bitcoin is still sitting there. There's a lot of people in that boat. But did you buy any in 2017 when Bitcoin took off and went up to 20K, right? And it was a big hype about Bitcoin at the time. But then the bear market came and Bitcoin dropped all the way to 3K, right? That was tough. That was tough. But guess what? If you had held, then Bitcoin goes on this run, 2020 into 2021, up to 64K. But then it drops all the way to 29K, right? Half its value. So if you were buying here at 64K, ugh. But that's, a lot of us were figuring it out, right? So newcomers into cryptocurrency were figuring out these 4-year cycle things and what was going on with cryptocurrency. There's a cycle, and guess what? We're just starting the next cycle. And where is this going to go? So, hey, Tom Cott, how are you? I'll try to be posted to on Sunday. Keep pumping weight. Yeah. Oh, Jason, you're an electrician. Work for a living, crypto side job. The money I make working, building the internet, I invest into the internet's money. Makes sense. Again, it's like, depending on how much money you make, right? It's not the same for everybody, right? If you've got 10,000 Dogecoin and that is a lot for you, that's great, right? If you've got 100,000 Dogecoin and that's a lot for you, that's great, because you're in a different financial position than somebody who probably has 10,000 Doge. So it's not a big deal, or 1,000,000 Doge, right? You're in a different financial position. You're willing to risk a little more. I'm a little older. I've got a little more wealth built up. I can afford to have millions of Dogecoin. There are some people, though. Remember Glauber Contasoto, right? The so-called Dogecoin millionaire, pro the Doge, where he pretty much sold everything and bought into Dogecoin. And where did he buy in? He bought in at about just over 4 cents. And that was right here in February of 2021. That's where he bought. And he bought millions of Dogecoin, right? At 4 cents, he had millions of Dogecoin. He rode it all the way up. And up here, he even showed his Robinhood portfolio, because he had all on Robinhood, because he was making all these videos. And he had $3 million worth of Dogecoin up here. And he'd only put in like $180,000, $160,000. But to him, that was like everything he owned, right? He had a few stocks that he had been playing with. He sold all those, even borrowed money, all went in to buying that 3 million Dogecoin. And I think it was more than that, actually, Jason. I think he had more, because his portfolio up here at 70 cents or so showed $3 million, because he showed it like on the Graham Stephan video, or Andre Jick, one of those guys. And it was like $3 million. And then it just came all the way down. And he was like, what did he say? Oh, I've got his little clip right here, right? Diamond Hands. Where is it? There he is.
Diamond hands, baby. Diamond hands. Let's go.
Right? And then his other one.
I'm not selling.
Right? He went from $3 million to less than $1 million with this drop. And then he started getting involved in all these other tokens and shilling all this stuff. And that's where he started making money that just could keep him going, because he quit his job, moved to Las Vegas. He bought a house there. He bought a house not selling Dogecoin, but from all this other stuff he was doing, the Floki and the, all this other stuff that was being shilled to him, because he became this kind of internet celebrity there, shilling all that stuff. But he was making a decent living doing it, which allowed him to move from California to Las Vegas and buy a house. So, but he didn't sell the Dogecoin. So he says, I don't know. He's not been making those videos. So, but I think he honestly has kept it all and is waiting for the next bull run in Doge. So, yeah, like Giancarlo says, he's happy with this 10,000 Doge. Each of you has your own financial position, right? And so you invest what you're willing to risk into this, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. But based on Dogecoin's past, I'm willing to bet we're at least 35 cents. That's minimum. And that's what I'm talking about, possibly maybe skimming a little, right? take like 5% of my Doge off the table, right? I mean, it just depends on what else is going on, right? What is considered a Doge whale? There are some that say, and we'll go to BitInfo charts, right? So we go to the Dogecoin rich list here, right? And this is bitinfocharts.com. And this lists all of the wallets that hold Dogecoin. Okay. And it says how much Dogecoin is in each wallet. Here's the 32 billion Dogecoin in this DEG wallet. This is the Robinhood wallet. This is the Robinhood cold storage wallet. 32.9 billion Dogecoin. Today, it's worth $2.7 billion. But this Doge that's in this wallet right here, this is not Robinhood's Dogecoin. Well, it is technically. But if you bought Dogecoin on Robinhood and you've got it, that's your Dogecoin. It's sitting right there. You don't have custody of it. Robinhood does. And there are so many people that bought all that Dogecoin back in 2021 that they were buying Dogecoin into that wallet. Well, they've got other wallets too, but they were moving it there for cold storage. They've got 3 or 4 wallets that we know of. Not as big as that one. That's their main cold storage wallet. So when you look at this and what makes a whale, well, let's see. Anything over 100 million Dogecoin, how many of those are there? There's about 175 wallets that have over 100 million Dogecoin. So you say, okay, well, those are definitely whales. So do you add the 520 that have at least 10 million Dogecoin? Maybe. Well, then how about the 1 million and up? Now we've got 3,000, almost 4,000 additional wallets there that hold at least 1 million Dogecoin. Does that make you a whale? Maybe not. So maybe it's these up here, right? It's these ones. Maybe 10 million is a whale. And how many is that? That's 650, 660, about 665 wallets own at least 10 million Dogecoin. Those are the whales, I think. I don't consider myself a whale, and I'm in this category here. But I don't consider myself a whale. So I'd say 10 million minimum would be a whale. But yeah, right. That's like 100 million Dogecoin. Yeah. 100 million. And that's, let's see, 100 million. Who has 100 million? Well, the number 100 wallet has 114 million Dogecoin, which today is worth $9 million. $9 million. And that's a relatively new wallet. Started on May 19th, 2023. And they've never sold any. How about that? Whoever this is, they bought 4 times. Oh, they bought 1 time. Price of Doge was 7.4 cents. This could be related to an exchange or something. Yeah, 114 million Dogecoin all at once. But hey, they're up $1 million. So again, it takes money to make money, right? Takes money to make money. That's what they say. But in cryptocurrency, if you're in on the right project with a fair amount of money, you can have a lot of money too. cryptocurrency gives you that opportunity. But it also gives you the opportunity to lose a lot of money too. So you got to be careful. Well, look, while I've been on, Dogecoin has traded pretty well. Look at that. We like to see that. Good gains. Again, I don't know what's going to happen over the weekend. I know Monday morning I'm going to be live. I'll do videos on Saturday, probably Sunday as well. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I did want to talk tonight about ETFs and the Dogecoin thing. Thought that was important. So I hope you enjoyed that. Be sure you've subscribed, always like, and join the channel if you haven't already joined, because you get a chance to get some of this 75,000 Doge that I'm going to be giving out. Hopefully at the top of the bull market when we sell. Again, not selling that Dogecoin. I'm selling all of this other crypto. And then I'm transferring this Dogecoin to you guys if you've joined my channel. So, hope you all are well. We'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. Almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have to share.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.